Bigfoot, undisputedly the world's most entertaining cryptid. Join the Reverend Jeff Kelly and your old pal Wes as they discuss the best and worst the media has to offer. Movies, books, TV shows, commercials, all on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
There you go, folks. This is Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly, and I'm your host, the Reverend Jeff Kelly. And chuckling over there is your old pal, Wes, of WesLosner.com. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, how are you?
Plus, I got a really large penis. You know, that tends to keep me happy. That's right. Here on the podcast, we're going to be talking about Abominable.
Abominable.
There you go. Abominable Snowman. That's right. No, Abominable from 2006, the Bigfoot movie. That's right. IMDb storyline says it has been cited 42,000 times in 68 countries. Really, that's a lot. A creature of myth and legend known by several names: Yeti, Sasquatch, and the infamous Bigfoot. We've hunted it for years, but what happens when it decides to hunt us? Abominable centers around one man recovering from a mountain climbing accident, trapped in a remote cabin in the woods, who sees the legendary beast and must convince someone to believe him before the monster goes on a bloody rampage. Written by, wait for it, Anonymous. Yeah, that's right. The freaking script for this is so shitty, they didn't even want their name associated with it when it was written by comments. Wow. What can I say about Abominable? Okay, first time I saw this was in 2006 when it first came out. We were hoping it was going to be good. It should have. It had a big budget. There was a lot of money thrown at this movie. $250,000 is what it was quoted as the budget for this stupid thing. Let's see here. It stars Matt McCoy as Preston Rogers, recovering from a skiing accident in his wheelchair. Now, as my crippled cousin Joey would tell you, don't pity these people just because they're in a wheelchair, damn it. And my old pal Wes here says he's about to insult some paralyzed people. Well, let's give it a shot, buddy. Holy crap. What about Abominable, man?
I don't want to really piss anybody off, but I'm just gonna say he's a horrible handicapped person.
Oh my God, you are so right. That actor playing anybody in a wheelchair. Okay, guys, your legs are not stick stiff, brah. Okay, they're limp. If you can't use your legs, they're just friggin' wet noodles. This guy was. We'll talk about that. Holy crap. Anyhow. Well, I'm sure you caught this back in 2006 when it first came to DVD.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, this is another one born straight to DVD. Without a $10 million budget, can these Bigfoot movies even get out to the theater anymore? I mean, what was the last theater Bigfoot movie that you can think of? Yeah, exactly. Dead Air is really freaking great.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, probably 1989. Harry and the Hendersons. Can you think? I can't really think. I mean, drive-ins will have them, but that's a different story. You know, that's the whole cult classic. That's why I love the type of movies that I love, because my parents could only afford to take us to the double feature friggin' movies on the weekends that were like $1 a carload. So we'd go see, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or Giant Ants from Outer Space. And, we grew up on all those kind of movies instead of all the first run stuff. We did see Star Wars in the theater. My grandparents made sure that we saw all the good stuff, E.T., all the really cool stuff we saw in the big theater. But yeah, as far as mom and dad went, we was po folks, so we went to the double feature theater, and I love that. I still love that kind of stuff. I still love the drive-in experience. When we were in Tennessee, they actually had a drive-in that had first run movies of double features for like $6. Out here in the West Coast, you can't find crap like that no more.
Yeah.
They got it, but it's $62.50 a movie.
I used to go to one years back, probably like 10 years back, with friends and stuff. Like, it was cool. We'd all hang out and watch some movies, but it was never old stuff. It was always stuff that was like new in theaters and stuff like that. I never ever. Well, no. I watched Night of the Living Dead in a cemetery once. That was pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's pretty good. Yeah, we used to have one of those blow up screens that the projectors could go on. So we played some pretty creepy movies in some pretty creepy places. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind having one of those to take out with us on Bigfoot events and show like
Yeah.
Bigfoot movies on, in a Bigfoot location. Dude, that would have
Yeah,
actually been
up on the
killer.
trees and shit.
Well,
Like,
no,
just
just have a big
project
blow.
it.
No, just have a big blow up screen that you could take out there with you,
Oh, yeah,
and just
roll
have
up
like,
one. Yeah.
or they have them blow up now that you can
Oh.
actually blow up with a freaking air pump, and they're
Oh,
huge.
what?
Yeah, they're like huge. You can blow them up with an air compressor, and you could literally have like Bigfoot movies in the wild. We'll have to talk about that for next summer. That might be something to do. Anyhow,
Yeah, sounds up.
back to abominable.
Yeah, abominable.
Not abominable. This is. I need some Bobbycat. I ain't got no Bobbycat. I need some Bobbycat. Abominable.
Abominable.
There you go.
Abominable.
Abominable. There you go. Rock on and rolling.
All right.
Let's start this sucker out. So yeah, Cripple Boy here is a really, really bad.
Well, first, yeah, he's horrible. But first, the movie starts out with dude waking up and he's hearing noises and everything. Like, that's how they start out and give you abominable. But the farmer wakes up and he's with his wife and they're hearing noises, and then they go out and then they come back inside, and then the creature walks around and they end up finding their horse torn up.
What
then
would
the dog
do
goes
something
running.
like that, Charlie?
Yeah, the dog goes running after it,
Well, ain't no coyote, that's for sure. Get back here, dog. Get back here. Like that.
So then you get abominable.
Abominable.
Yeah. And so, but right before they do that whole abominable, you see these three prints, but then you see where the prints are coming from, and it's just like, come on, guys. Like, that's like, it looked like he just came directly out of a wall. Like, the way they set up the prints was goofy, but yeah, I get it. It's just a movie and everything, but still. All right. I pick shit apart. That's just me. All right. So then it moves on. You get the introduction of who I call Nurse Prick and Roller Boy.
That guy. Holy hell. Dude, if that was my friggin' medical aid, dude, I would have been punching him in the balls. See, that was my crippled cousin Joey. Look, all right, when we were kids, my crippled cousin Joey got knocked over by a wave and it broke his neck. Clear up in like the C3, C4. I mean, nurses out there will know exactly what that is. Well, eventually he recovered to like a C7 or a C8 break, which gave him like his hands, he could grip, but no dexterity, no pectoral muscles, but he had biceps. And that was his favorite thing to do, would be to roll up past somebody and just reach over and wham him right in the friggin' balls as he walks by or rolls by. Exactly. But yeah, that nurse would be definitely getting ball whacked from me out of that chair on a constant basis. Holy hell.
Yeah, so then you're getting the whole introduction of Roller Boy and why he's on doctor's orders to go to the cabin. I don't get that. So then there's the whole drive.
You're on doctor's orders to stay calm and stay de-stressed. So we're going to take you to the middle of nowhere where you can't get to shit and you can't get away from nobody because there's stairs everywhere.
Yeah. So then they instantly cut to Harry and the Hendersons beginning, and you get that whole station wagon in the woods and water and everything. So then they end up at this grocery store, and the dude's talking with that creepy ass fucking clerk that had the air breathing and shit. He just looked like a child molester.
Wait, dude, was that the one that looked like Bubbles?
Well, he didn't really look like Bubbles, but I mean, he had glasses.
All I like to think of was Hillbilly Bubbles. I was like, that guy's got to be related to Bubbles somehow.
Yeah, so then
weren't they in Vancouver? So they were definitely in Canada.
Were they?
Yeah, they were definitely in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
So that could have been Bubbles' cousin.
Ah.
Bubbles' cousin Diddles.
Yeah, so then the creepy dude, he ends up telling the nurse about what happened, with Rollerboy and shit, and what happened to his wife, and everybody talks about it like, oh, that was some travesty. Oh, it was catastrophe. And what happened really? One person fell splat. Okay, I get that. That's bad, but I mean, it happens. They're fucking mountain climbers, right? And then that dude got rescued. How is that a catastrophe? Someone survived. Yay.
Well, because
Like,
yeah, but you
they made
you
it
don't.
seem like it was a bloodbath, though. Like
Well,
everybody
but
that
you don't
talked about
understand
it in the
survivor's
movie.
remorse. Why your friend died or your significant other died and you didn't. There's a certain amount of survivor's remorse that comes along with a lot of that. That psychologically it is horrific. Anyhow, moving on.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, they kind
So
of
now you've offended the crippled people and the psychologically damaged. Thank you very much.
Your old pal Wes at weslosner.com.
That's right. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and take that moment to take a break and talk about this week's tattoo of the week. Holy crap, dude. This thing is neat. It's like a demon drinking a beer. I mean, did this guy come in with the idea?
Well, see, what happened is I fixed this. This thing looked like shit before I got to it. And it was just the outline. And then I ended up like adding all the color and shading and shit like that.
Oh, so that's why there's a giant black bar around the whole thing so that you could fix the lines of the jackass before, huh?
Yeah.
Just noticing that little border.
Yeah,
there.
and
Wow.
if you look closely, there's a white. I mean, it's fresh, but there's a white outline to make it nice and crisp.
Oh, I do see that there. Yeah. Now, is that glow in the dark white?
No,
It's going to cause like radiation poison, that people are going to hate later
not
on.
good for skin. People just put stupid shit like. But this is, I think, a local brewery in town, and this is like their logo or something.
Well, God bless you, man, because you've definitely cleaned that thing up. It looks
great.
Yeah,
I should have put a before picture, but it doesn't really need it. Like it looks fine as it is.
If you've got a shitty tattoo that needs cleaned up, find Wes down at Good Neighbor Tattoo in Escondido, California. All right, so now we've got Cripple Boy and Jackass Nurse Man up in the cabin.
Yeah, and they're getting settled in, and the nurse prick leaves to go to get some soy milk because Rollerboy is allergic, of course. He's so fucking, Anyway, starts to, fucking hear noises and like feel bumps, and like he's noticing like the fucking picture frames are shaking and shit like that. And then he looks outside, and then like totally offbeat of those bumps are the bumping of the stereo from all these broads coming to party next door.
This is where the whole movie gets a little Uncle Feely Hands creepy.
Yeah. And so I noticed something too is that everyone's eating Rice Krispies everywhere they go because there's a box of Rice Krispies like in almost every scene. Pay attention. Okay.
I did not notice there was a box of Rice Krispies in every scene.
I noticed the stupidest shit. Like really, like. But anyways, like, yeah. After I wrote that down, the Rice Krispies and shit, Rollerboy goes to see, or he sees the downed phone line. He didn't hear it, but then he spies on the girls because the broads were out and they were talking about that shit. And then he sees that one smoking a joint in the bathroom.
But he was being so creepy with the glove.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, full on peeping Tom, bro. Like, look, hot chicks next door. Hey, and if you guys are actually watching live, go to facebook.com/groups/SLounge. There's a post going on in there. Feel free to post comments or questions while we're on the air. Anyhow.
Yeah, so and I started paying attention at this moment too that I'm like the version I'm watching, a little mouse clicker will be on the screen every little while.
Dude? Around. Yeah, and it sounded like the audio was being recorded over open air because I heard somebody cough at the beginning of it.
Yeah, and someone
at the end of it. Yeah, it was like, and I was like, what the? Who does this?
Yeah. So anyways, so there's a girl, she gets on the phone and everything, and then he starts seeing the trees rustle and everything, and and like within like a second, like it's like boom, like she's like just gone and stuff. So the dude goes to get a flashlight, and then he goes out and he's trying to tell the other girl, something like that, and the girl tells him that he perv, like and she didn't even want to fucking hear one word out of his fucking mouth, And what's it called? So then Rollerboy tries to email the fuzz, all right, after that one girl goes missing.
With like AOL dial-up or something off the
Yeah.
satellite. I was like, oh, yeah, good luck with that there, Chief.
Yeah. And there was like a boring debate between Rollerboy and Pat and the prick, that fucking, I was going to call him Patrick for some reason. I don't know why. But the prick, was his name Patrick?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, the nurse prick and stuff, it was long and boring. And, I was paying attention to the mouse clicker in that part. But then the men in the woods around the fire and the man from the first scene.
Oh, that's where the Bubbles character guy comes in.
Yeah.
The guys around the fire.
And the guy from the very first scene where his horse got fucked up and his dog.
Yeah.
And then Lance, motherfucking Henriksen, Bishop, the Bigfoot Slayer. Fucking, he's done so many fucking awesome sci-fi just kind of movies that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anything he's in, I don't give a shit. He's awesome. I
He's
love
like,
this
yeah,
guy.
I'd take care of
love
it.
to meet him. Yeah. He's done, like, seriously, like, we're going to talk about him again, like, probably, like, I'd say 4 or 5 more times because he's in a lot of Bigfoot movies.
Right.
So we'll be fucking talking about him. He's the Squatch Slayer. I love him. Well, I mean, he always gets slayed by the Squatch, really, if you think about it.
I was going to say, see, this is the point in the movie where I actually start rooting for the Sasquatch. See, I'm that guy. I'm wanting the Sasquatch to kill this friggin' dude in the friggin'. I want the guy in the wheelchair to eat it. I really do. I want the nurse to eat it. I want him to kill each one of those dirty little bitches next door that wouldn't help the old cripple guy understand that there's a monster outside your house. So I'm rooting for the Bigfoot. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah, so, those 3 guys, like, they end up hearing noises, and Lance Henriksen, I don't know his fucking name in the fucking movie, but he goes and he finds a cave, and he starts going in there and everything.
Ziegler Dane is Lance Henriksen's name.
Oh, in the movie?
Ziegler Dane, yeah.
Ziegler
Dane.
I have it written in my notes. When he walks up into the cave, he finds this broad, right? And he's like, he gets up to where he can see what's happened to her, and she's fucked up, And he just did. You hear him like, ew, that's gross.
That's gross.
I fucking love that shit. Like, dude, that one liner, that was the greatest in the whole fucking movie. I fucking love it. But
dude,
anyways, they all die.
That's gross.
Yeah, the Sasquatch fucks them all up, and everything. Oh, they're not calling them Sasquatch because remember later on we find out that they're not Bigfoot. They're
abominable.
But anyways, back to Rollerboy trying to not sound like a creep while warning the girls.
I've been staring at you through these binoculars for hours. I saw the creature looking at you through your window that I was looking through. But don't mind me. I'm not a creep.
Yeah, and then they go. They think he's a perv, and they go inside. So he's watching an old TV about it, and that's when he's seeing this old thing. Like it's not Bigfoot. It's a blah 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 blah. So then he ends up going back to the window, and he's looking out the window, and that's when we get. Come on, No, right before that, we get a nice, beautiful shower scene.
Oh, the shower scene. Well, and of course, he's got his binoculars out.
Oh, of course he does. So it's kind of wrong that you're looking, but you still like it just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I gotta admit, I felt a little dirty. I've seen the movie several times, and it always in that one spot makes me always makes me feel just a little dirty. Yeah, I got what fixes the dirt. Some of that Dr. Squatch soap, gets you some of that spearmint basil scrub. That's right. Step out of nature, step into freshness. DrSquatchSoap.com. Anyhow, that's our sponsor commercial. Let's do one more. I got a little something the other day from a special little podcaster that we've been working with, and I told her that I would give her a little shout out on our show. And now I can't find what I'm looking for. Yeah, there it is. Let's go ahead and have a little word from our friend Shannon.
With infinite complacence, people went to and fro the earth about their little affairs, serene in the assurance of their dominion over this small, spinning fragment of solar driftwood, which by chance or design, man has inherited out of the dark mystery of time and space.
Hello, fellow Squatchers Lounge listeners. My name is Shannon LeGros, formerly part of a Sasquatch-only podcast. I now have a new multi-topic show out called Into the Fray Radio. Turns out I'm even weirder than you thought. Subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher, and visit my website, intothefrayradio.com. Enjoy your lounge time, and a big thanks to the Rev.
See, we still have some friends in the radio business. Not everybody hates us. Check it out at intothefrayradio.com. Thanks, Shannon. And back to the craziness as Peepee Boy is looking through the glasses watching Shower Girl.
Naked chick.
Naked chick's
off.
good. Yeah,
Here's
naked
noise,
chick's good. I still
walks
feel
to
a
the
little
window.
dirty. I'm still wanting her to get eaten by the Sasquatch, though. Sorry,
she does.
but yeah.
She gets bent the fuck in half, pulled right out of that small little squared little window. Roller Boy ends up freaking the fuck out and yelling and trying to find the nurse dude to fucking wake him up and have him fucking see that this monster, blah, blah, blah. And fucking nurse prick tries to inject
He's
him
gonna
with
shoot him up, dude. He's like, you need to relax a little bit. Here, let me get this syringe out. Yeah, we'll put that right here. And since you're a cripple, I can push you around. Here, let me start pushing you around because you can't help yourself. What the hell? And then Rollerboy
stabs the nurse prick in the neck with the syringe.
Right.
Knocks him out. And then turns around, looks out the window, and sees the creature staring the fuck at him, and then just passes the fuck out. And then you move on, and the police are finally looking at the email, and then the cops discuss all the craziness about that shit and everything, and then you hear about the Flatwood Monster and all that bullshit.
Because they're not Bigfoot, they're abominable.
Blah, 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 blah. And so then dude's waking up, all right? All this shit's already happened and it's dark, all right? Dude's waking up and you're thinking he's going to look at the fucking clock and it's going to say something like fucking 3 a.m. or some bullshit like that. 9:42. 9:42. All this fucking killing and mayhem is already going on.
9:42 at night.
Yeah, so like it's been dark for fucking 24 hours already, and dude's had been knocked out and fucking had supper. Dude's gone. I don't know. There's a lot of like storyline fuck ups in this shit.
It was not very cohesive, that's for sure. It was kind of like reading a third grader's rendition of Shakespeare.
Yeah. So
and then there's one guy and there's one time and then there was this other guy this other time. And then there was this girl and then they sword fought and then she took some poison, but she didn't die.
Yeah.
So,
So fucking the girls in the cabin end up like getting into the bathroom because their friend, because so much time has gone by. It's
Right.
9:40 fucking 2. Get out of the fucking shower already.
Come on, get out of the shower, bitch.
So then they freak out. They see the blood and shit like that. And
Where's our friend? Where's our friend?
So then you see Biggie creeping up on them and shit like that. Well, I guess a Abominable creeping up on them and shit. So then he gets in the house and fucking starts eating bitches. But not really, because I guess he fucks up some of them and shit. And then Biggie bitch slaps the Asian bitch, which I wanted that to happen. I wanted Biggie to get her because she was just annoying through the whole movie. Like you could tell she was the snob in the group of her friends and shit. So then she maces the dude, and then Biggie just stomps her freaking head, squashes it like a little tomato. And then little Blondie, who
I love the Bigfoot kills in this one. I'm sorry, they were
Yeah.
gruesome, they were gory,
yeah.
blood dripping everywhere.
The only one that I question is just, we'll get to it, but
Oh yeah. We'll talk about Snake Boy here in a minute.
Yeah. And so little Blondie escapes to Roller Boy's cabin, and she's the only one that survives out of all these bitches.
Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Yeah, and so
it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You've got no legs, you crippled motherfucker. I'm better off taking your car and getting out of here without you.
So then this guy's Oscar award-winning performance, and I say that so non-sarcastically. They
really, really love me.
He has his healing moment where he has his epiphany on life and discusses it with her, and he just has this fucking freaky, creepy, I want to molest your breast fucking look on his face. And he's talking about his wife's death and fucking all kinds of shit. And then he just looks her in the face.
I was just fucking your friend naked in the shower, but there's my dead wife stuff.
But don't worry, my dick doesn't work. It's all right.
That's right. I can only be your friend because my penis doesn't work.
Yeah, but so
he punches himself in the junk.
He looks her dead in the face with a huge smile on his face and goes, "I'm scared to death right now."
That's what I want to hear out of my hero. Yeah. I'm fucking crazy scared right now. Again, and so she'd have been better off if she'd have left this crippled ass behind for the Abominable to get and ass out in his station wagon.
Yeah, and so we're going to beat this creature. And so they get ski equipment. So that worked out great. And they set a trap with a ribeye and a fire axe. So,
that's right.
And it didn't really work that great. So then Biggie kills the power to the place, and I know they cussed through the whole fucking movie, right? Okay, I know. But when they said, "What just happened?" and dude goes, "I have no fucking idea."
Look right in the camera. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, the horrible fucking Oscar award-winning fucking creep eye.
I have no fucking idea.
Oh man. Oh my god, dude. So they rappel down this fucking little shit, and fucking Biggie starts pulling the girl up, and then fucking that whole shit. You get this first close up, and there's just this one scene where I was like, it kind of looks like the picture of the Rev Squatch I drew. So from now on, this is no longer a Abominable. We're calling him Rev Squatch.
The Rev Squatch.
So then Rev Squatch pulls her up and just starts sniffing her and licking her.
It was gross as hell, dude. It was just like, oh, is he gonna fuck her? Is he gonna eat her?
Yeah,
it was kind of a toss up. Michael Deke was the guy that played the monster, and he's a big guy. But That takes, I don't know how many faces they had for this thing because the super death is coming up here in a second.
Yeah, and because right when he's sniffing her and stuff, you hear the nurse prick call out, and then he calls Biggie a fucking, what, a ass monkey?
Look here, you big ass monkey.
And so he gets him with the axe in the back and shit, and then fucking the Rev Squatch turns around and just grabs that motherfucker and just dislocates his jaw into this long snake squatch. So
Kevin Moore wanted to make sure we made comment about the epic snake bite, face bite. It was like, what is this thing now? D-junk jaw, is he part anaconda? I mean, have they been working with Melba Ketchum? Is he part lemur now?
You know what though? I was gonna say not just Rev Squatch, but we could call that whole Squatch Jevin. I mean, if you glued some hair on that fool, I mean, he looks just like that fucking creature.
Absolutely. Now, here's a little tidbit of information a lot of people don't know. The Bigfoot from Abominable was actually one of the candidates for the Hoovy hoax photo that got Phil Poling sued a couple of years ago. That's right, folks. A person in America actually filed a federal copyright lawsuit against a YouTube character. I mean, the guy was playing a character on YouTube, much like the character of Reverend Jeff here, sued him in federal court, costing the man thousands of dollars to defend themselves for a judge to go, no. No. But the Abominable character suit was actually one of the candidates for that real Bigfoot that was released by the American Bigfoot Society hoax people a few years back. Anyhow, let's talk about the picture of the week from our old pal Wes before we finish this sucker up for the night. Yeah, this thing was pretty neat, dude. This would make a good tattoo, dude.
That's what it is. I mean, it's basically what I was going for. It was like a future tattoo. It's just I got those markers I've been messing with, and I just, get a few minutes and start drawing.
That is some absolutely sick work. You can check out all the art for sale at Wes Losner, weslosner.com, WESLOSNER.com. All right, so Biggie's got Roller Boy's prick boy up in the snake bite face.
Yeah, so Nurse Prick just got bit long jaw style. And
I'm gonna book you long dick style.
They get in the car and then they end up crashing. And then we find out that Snake Squatch's nemesis is a car horn. Nothing hurts us. Talk about the Dr. J experience and finding out something silly like a car horn can do some damage. Yeah.
Wasn't that the same? The same weakness as Spider-Man's nemesis, that black thing? Venom.
Oh yeah, Venom. Yeah.
Yeah, Venom was
sound.
Yeah. I'm not a complete geek. Just a micro geek.
So then, dude ends up somehow starting the car by just pressing on the gas because the car was completely just fucking smashed into a tree and not running. But he presses on the gas and the fucking thing's running backwards, just great. And they end up smashing the fucking Snake Squatch into the fucking tree, which he already has an axe in his back, which made the axe protrude out the front of him. And he ain't phased.
Yeah, no shit's given.
Took out his whole sternum, he ain't phased. He's still just like...
Absolutely no shit's given.
Yeah. It's just totally crazy. So then Blondie ends up dragging Rollerboy, who's no longer Rollerboy, he is Noodle Boy.
Noodle Boy, well, yeah. Not a good actor boy. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud, but...
So, yeah, Stiff Noodle gets dragged down the road, and then they see a cop. The cop finds them and everything, and then, so the cop goes to the cabin, they have that whole scene. Cops are right there, the ambulance, everybody.
It must gonna be okay because the cops are here.
Yeah, and then for some reason, the fucking station wagon is now completely further away than it was in the scene because the cop had to hike to it.
Right.
to find out that there's no fucking snake squatch there anymore.
Where does Snake Squatch go? There's no Sam Squanch here.
Yeah, so Thing gets away, or his homies helped him out, or whatever.
Oh my God, boys. We are officially dealing with a fucking Sam Squamch.
And so then the 3 cops go, okay, we gotta go out in the woods, you know. So they walk like 5 feet in, and then they
We're out in the woods.
Look up and see a bob and and then you end up seeing he brought Bob with a ba and Bang to Bang Boogie with him and all their cousins, because all these eyes start lining up, and you just know all those cops are fucked. And probably all the people back at the place by the time they hear the gunshots going off from the cops. So I'm just saying, like, the movie's pretty fucking cool, like that, like for gore, you know, like
Definitely
Yeah,
A
like,
plus for
it-
gore.
yeah, it did its job, you know. But I think if they put a totally different actor, like I think C. Thomas Howell would have played a better fucking Roller Boy than Roller Boy.
Or Frank Stallone.
Yeah, just something like even fucking the kid, little chubby kid from The Sandlot, you know, like the Hambino could probably have played a better wheelchair fucking guy, but I don't know. I
Hey,
still,
look,
it's a
I
movie
was-
that I know I'm gonna watch it again sometime.
Well, of course,
in the future.
Halloween's here. All the gory ones are really coming up. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of fun. Oh man, I like this one. I root for the Sam Squanch, and the Sam Squanch wins. So this is actually my kind of favorite type of Bigfoot, where the Bigfoot just has no reason for being a murderous asshole. He just kills everybody for fun. Those are the ones that I like. But I give this one 2 thumbs up. Definitely something. 2006 Abominable is the name of the movie. I would say definitely catch it. It's out there on YouTube. If you really like it, you should buy a copy of it. Support the actual artists that do this type of stuff. What can a copy at Walmart be now? $9. At least they'll still
I'm
get there.
building my little collection of DVDs.
Exactly. That's the way we should do it. What you got? Any final thoughts this week, there, Mr. Captain Offender? Captain offends everybody.
Well, I wasn't trying to offend everybody. I'm just saying, like, some fucking people I know on wheelchairs are pricks, but not all of them, Like,
Not all of them. Well, let me just go ahead and interrupt you there and tell everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
I love roller people.
That's right. People in wheelchairs are awesome too.
Yeah, we're all good. I'm just
wheelchair
people.
lives matter too. Everybody lives matter. Go out to our other sponsor at treasuredmetaljewelry.com. treasuredmetaljewelry.com. Sign up for the Silver Bullet contest. You only got a few days left because we're going to be announcing the winner on Wednesday.
I won.
That's right. We're going to find out who the winner is tomorrow. So you really only have like 24 hours. Wes is actually eligible because he's not a member of the Squashers Lounge podcast. But I just want to remind everybody, get your butts out there and get it signed up for, because tomorrow is going to do it. All right, that's it for us. Thanks, everybody, for watching. You ain't got to go home, but if you do get the hell up out of here, we say thanks for watching. May the Squatch be with you.
I mean, you could try for second place, but I won first place already. I'm positive. And I'm going to use that silver bullet to shoot the werewolf.
Next week, join us as we talk about drawing flies.
What the hell is that?
1996 Bigfoot movie.
Drawing flies.
Yeah, starring most of the cast that was in Clerks, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
And I already checked on YouTube, so it's out there.
Ah.
See, I was smart about that. That's right.
Ah.
Drawing flies. It's actually in black and white, and it's kind of one of those grindhouse movies.
Yeah, I've drawn some flies before. You're a big ass fly the other day.